Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 54 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have here today, same as always, our players. We have Frank, Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby will be here with us shortly, and Christo. So I think, just jumping into it, I think I'll give us a nice recap and we'll get back into it because I still feel a little bad about my cliffhanger spot, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you got to wait. But last time there was the signing of the treaty, an attempt to expel some ghosts, which did not go well. And then the party decided that either they needed some downtime or maybe we should run a few errands and talk about things. And so everybody sort of split in directions safely, comparatively. Roshan went to go take a nap. Saga went and got a letter. Nanna went to go pray a bit and then saw that the Seeress has probably been laying beneath the statue of Golveg for 2 days, 3 days. And
she hasn't died yet.
She's not dead yet. And she says she can't answer your questions because you haven't been given permission to ask her anything. But Nanna deals with that later and takes Hertha's place and asks a question in her stead because Hertha says she doesn't want to. And whatever the future holds for her, she will take it when it gets here. Roshan sleeps. Gorbjorn goes and he makes choice where he, with an audience, sneaks into the tent of Freyrun and Nadia while Gaza watches and possibly steals something unnoticed. This happens to be a potion that seems to relax his body and calm his mind, and he is able to think clearly. The party comes together to talk about what to do next, and in the words of Saga, it seems without Roshan there to keep everyone on track, there will be no track. And it turned into just people having like little quips, little arguments back and forth. Somebody was training a bird at the time. Somebody was just eating snacks. Somebody was having a drink. And the task at hand not being spoken about, Eagle having a horse in this race, I was like, why don't you guys try blackmail? And the party's like, yeah, what else are you gonna do?
I mean, what else are you gonna do
What are you
when the ghosts you want to exorcise are also the chief and her wife of a town? What are you gonna
do?
Blackmail.
So there's gonna be a party tonight. The whole town will be celebrating. Eagle is celebrating because he is now an interim chief, assumedly to be a chief later on. You all kind of, I would say, came to a conclusion that blackmail is at least maybe the next step or something in that vein. Also, Gorbjorn goes and speaks to the Seeress. He had earned a question, a trade with the Jarl, and sort of with his mind cleared is able to think clearly. He speculates on his choices of late and where those feelings and impulses may come from. And at the request of the Seeress, he pours a bucket of cold water on her in the beginnings of winter at night. And and he watches as she reacts viscerally, eyes turning from milky white to the color of his mother's eyes as she hums a soft song that kind of sparks memory from his childhood. And also everybody has an intense conversation with Hertha. It's kind of just a line, who's going to talk to Hertha and who's Hertha just going to like hit with the paddle of tough love, it just depends on the day who Hertha is going to tough love at the moment. And Nanna and Roshan were at the end of that. The latter ending with gold coins spread across the floor. But all of it ending Okay, I'm safe. And that's where we left off. Feels like I'm delaying. I'm just like, yeah, there it is. Yeah. And then some other stuff happened.
You know. I
Oh,
mean,
remember the
sometimes...
first episode?
You
Ah!
guys remember when there was like this wedding, right? And
I
so
think Hertha was there. I don't remember who else.
Hertha was there. It was her wedding.
Yeah.
But that is where we left off. And that means that's where we'll continue from. And out of the kindness of my heart, with such a terrible cliffhanger, we will be starting with Gorbjorn.
Huzzah! My boy.
Can you tell me, like, the first, like, there doesn't have to be like anything physical, but the first reactions to seeing what is happening in front of you? You are still calmed by this potion, but just tell me how you're feeling.
Gorbjorn, probably seeing a reflection of his mom's eyes, would get on his knees and kind of try to be like level with her, kind of just relax and like maybe hold her hands as he's getting his like vision.
Okay. You reach out and take her hands, and she seems to not fully comprehend you. That's apparent. And as you take her hands were in motion, and you take them, and she continues forward, and she holds her arms like in this manner in front of her, as if holding something like this, as she hums softly to herself. And then you watch as her eyes quickly dart around the room, around you, as if you've seen people, like, it's like when they're reading, their eyes move really fast. It's similar to that, but it's just like looking at multiple things quickly. And I'd love you to roll insight. I'll give you advantage because your mind is so clear. And this place seems to just encourage this sort of moment.
Even though my mind is clear, I'm still quite perplexed as my insight is 8.
Gotcha. As her eyes move rapid fire in multiple directions, the humming stops and the gentle sway of her arms stops, and she looks to the side. It's dark, and you can hear that this is not the Seeress's voice anymore, and it's just a meek, soft voice. It's dark, and she glances around. Damp. I'm nervous. There is shouting, and she pulls the invisible thing in her arms closer to her body. There's shouting. And then she looks ahead through you, like looking past you. Gorbjorn runs into the room, and he is bleeding. And his arm is gone. He grips at the stump, and she kind of grasps at nothing in front of her. I'm afraid. We grab what we can. He says we have to go, that everyone's leaving, and so many people have died. The tunnels are unsafe. He won't say. Nobody will say. And there's the people in the cages, and we can't stop. So we go. Wherever we're going, we go outside of the cave. We cannot go through the tunnels. We travel in carts. Slaves drive. It's less suspicious. I drive one of the carts. We're heading east to another cave opening. And her eyes flash aggressively. It is dark again. It is dark and damp. For months, We walk for months. And when we emerge again, I'm only sent out for supplies. I'm trusted to go get supplies. And something's wrong. He's getting worse, more violent. I'm nervous. I can't lose another one. I can't lose another one. I go out for supplies and I run. And I run. And I'm bleeding and I run. And it's raining and it's dark and I hide. We hide. I can't lose another one. There's a farm. And we hide. And I hold her close and you hear the Seeress just gasp and like pull herself out of it. And she grabs onto her arm and begins to scream, a guttural masculine scream as she grips at the shoulder. And you can see the color of her eyes shift and change, and you are now presented with your father's eyes. Very strange on this body, but she screams in sort of a bastardized version of his voice. And he's holding, and you can see her fingers pushing into the skin, visibly pained, the look on her face. And you just hear him murmuring under his breath. Darkness roots, there's the roots. The well. The well. And it just like, she murmurs it softly and it trails out of his voice for a moment. The well in the woods. And you watch as her head turns aggressively and she looks forward. Where did she take it? And she rakes her nails over the shoulder, digging in, cutting into the flesh, and screams in her own voice, your father's voice leaving her. And her body goes slack and she slumps. And she turns and she now seems to be able to comprehend you as she just sort of breathes heavy and like touches her shoulder. Was that helpful?
No.
She nods like she understands that fully.
Do you know if they live?
I do not want to give you any false hopes, but I can't really recall what I do in these moments. But there is a very painful reaction if I get to the end of a line, if I experience someone's death. A lot of these visions are through the eyes of those. If there is death nearby, it is easier to see through someone's eyes. But if they die while I am there, it's usually more of a visceral reaction. So I cannot say with certainty, but she looks around. I did not throw up, so there is some hope, yes, that they may live.
He's so calm and like his emotions are kind of bottled up right now. So he's just like, well, thank you for your vision. I'm gonna have to sit and think about this. And he kind of wants to stay in the vicinity and kind of just, not if like anything else will happen with the vision, but just more of like see who else is coming in and like what if I can listen to them. But if they ask me to move away, I will.
Yeah. So you kind of meander a bit away, but close enough to be like, can I still hang out? Is that cool? Like, is there a time limit? What's up? But you watch as she sort of like kind of wipes at the blood on her shoulder, and she just kind of rubs it until it stops bleeding. She's just like, it'll stop. It's not a terribly deep cut.
As she's cat, get off.
Oh no.
Oh, you're such a dice goblin. All right, so as
a village cat comes running by.
Yeah. So as she's like kind of like as I'm leaving, I'm gonna put my hand on that shoulder that was bleeding, and I never got to do this yet, so I wanted to use my magic reserves and give her some temporary HP.
Ooh.
That's good.
Right.
So much healing in this group.
We all have a little bit, I think, which is a nice emergency stopgap.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think everybody has something.
So she gets
nice.
20 temporary HP. I'm just gonna give her all.
Ooh.
Holy shit!
Well, she could probably take a beating if something terrible were to happen.
Well, now
What?
some random person just can't kill the seer.
Yeah!
Why won't she die? HP seer.
I'm so afraid!
No, don't worry about it. So Gorbjorn, it's a lot to take in, and who knows how you would have reacted without this potion, but potions have to wear off eventually, so we'll see. But it's a cold night, and you take a seat in the area, and you wait to see what happens. You see that people are starting to show up, mostly very important people. This is not for the masses, but you wait. Meanwhile, there's a party happening, big party in the basement. I wouldn't call it the basement, but downstairs, Roshan and Hertha had a conversation. She complained that it sobered her up, and she's probably now on to her third and or fourth drink, this time from Eagle's reserves that Roshan is handing out freely. But you get her a drink downstairs. Is there? I'm going to assume everybody except Gorbjorn is probably at this party, because you're all invited and you might get free drinks. It's very likely you'll probably get free drinks here. You got some earlier, why not more? But is there anything you guys would like to do just in the excitement of being at a party? Anything relevant, or I'm just here to drink and have a good time, which we all know is always an option.
Roshan would like to follow Hertha back upstairs and then survey the crowd to see if Egil is around.
You look around. The good thing about Eagle is that the man sort of sticks out like a sore thumb in most environments. And the fact that he's been drinking has made him louder. So if you don't see him first, you will certainly hear him as he is sort of playing host and moving about the place. There isn't a drink in his hand currently, but he's making the rounds.
Roshan would like to just go up to him and interrupt whatever conversation he might be having by like putting a hand on his head and turning it and then kissing him very theatrically and then saying, "Don't let me interrupt you," and then walk away.
I'd love you to roll performance.
Sure.
Just from the word theatrically, you know what? Hell, advantage. We're all having a good time.
He is a bard too, so.
That's a 28.
Oh, well, golly. I'm going to roll composure.
Is that
Need to give Nanna
Constitution?
lessons on that.
Yeah, please. God, she needs
I don't
it.
know if he can.
That's fair.
He
Yeah,
just
no,
sort of,
I don't want to be demonstrated on. I just want recommendations.
yeah, I don't know
Just
if he can
pointers
give
to
you
Nanna
those.
and Valder.
This happens, and Eagle, like, for a moment, is like stuck in the distance. And he turns to the person he was talking to. Excuse me, I'm distracted. And he is going to go and follow you, Rashawn, to talk to you instead of the people he was currently talking to. He'd much rather do that. Anything else? He plays it very cool. Like, he does not acknowledge the moment. He just talks to you normally, very chill about it. Is there anything else anybody's doing at this party? Yes, Nanna.
Does Nana see Hertha go downstairs and Roshan come up with Hertha? And if she sees either of these, can she get anything from their expressions or like how they seem to be doing?
Roll insight.
Which is not good for me. I knew that going in, but yeah. 17.
What do you think the Nana gets on a 17 from Roshan?
So Roshan has entered the party with a lot more pep in his step than he had at the treaty signing that morning.
After that nap, he should.
Yeah, he doesn't look like excited but confident.
Hertha is gonna contest. I don't appreciate this dice anymore. I'm gonna have to change again. Hertha seems you were talking to her when she said, I'm only gonna have 2 drinks.
Mm-hmm.
You watched her have 2 drinks, and she comes upstairs with another drink. And that seems to be her focus currently. She looks a little uncomfortable. That is the vibe you pick up from her. Does not come upstairs with the same energy as Roshan. She's not like upset or anything. She just looks kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, and when I was talking with Hertha the other day, she did mention that Roshan hadn't been coming around very often to her house. These are all things kicking around in Nana's head. But of course, Roshan is decidedly distracted with Eagle. And Hertha is... How absorbed is she in this drink? Does it look like she needs this drink to be a person?
Function.
For the event, yes. To be out at a party, Hertha, probably.
Okay. All right. Okay. Not really the time and place to discuss delicate personal stuff. Nanna would like to briefly circle past Hertha and sort of lean in and say, if there's anything that I can do for you or anything that you want to talk about later, do let me know. I don't want to bring you down at the party and all. You seem a little perturbed.
I'd love you to roll persuasion, please.
Okay. Ew. It's a straight 10.
She looks to you, lets you finish, finishes her drink, puts her hands on your shoulders. If either of you sad sacks come and bother me at a party again, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Noted! I'm going. Enjoy your drink.
Thank you very much. And Hertha's gonna go to the bar.
Yeah, alright. Well, something to talk about with Hertha later. And Nanna
Gotta
will
find her not at a party.
progress on. Yeah, I guess the fuck so. Nanna will, I'm sure she clocks Tordrecht, like, having a great time, leading a song or a dance or something, I'm assuming. And we'll probably move over in the direction of Fen. Where's he at? What's he doing?
It depends. Is Valder at the party?
It's a good question.
Balder's currently not here, no.
Okay. Ben's kind of waiting around to see if he shows up because he owes him a drink. But, so Ben's probably near the bar, feeding his bird. having a drink himself and feeding Jenny.
Is he drinking like a bird?
Drinking just a bit, yeah. Just enough to stay social, not enough to be deep in his cups.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Tordrick's definitely going anywhere where there's a little song and dance going on, and definitely any single people that aren't in unity with somebody and chatting, he literally will go by and go, "Hello, what's your name? I'm Tordrick," and they'll say their name, and then he'll turn it to the next person and go, "Hey, see that person over there, so and so. Hey, so and so, this is so and so. You should really get to meet this person." And he's just trying to get those people that are just kind of like wallowing in their drink to have some fun. You know, put this alcohol to good use. Have some fun. Get to know somebody. Put a smile on your face.
I imagine you're showing everybody Fen.
This is Fen.
Oh my god!
Like, hi, this is my best friend, Fen.
Do you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's alone that's not socializing is in, especially Finn. Oh, yes. See, he sees that. He's not moving from that area.
So who gets to Fen first? That's the question. Is it Tordrecht or is it Nanna?
Oh, no, Tordrick seems quick on his feet, and he
He
stops
does.
for a conversation with Hertha.
That is true.
No, yeah, he's playing matchmaker, and if Fen is sitting there casually with a drink, not socializing, which is very likely, he has been pointed out by name to multiple people. So Nanna, you're able to find Fen mostly based on a calling card. From Tordrek, who has pinpointed his position.
Aha.
People seem to be enjoying what you're doing, though, Tordrek. They're like, yes. Somebody will, like, if it's like right next to them, they're like, oh, hey, person. And like, we'll talk to whoever you happen to say the name of loudly. But you can make your way over to them, Nanna.
Alrighty. I assume Nanna walks up on Tordrecht, like, talking up Fen to, like, somebody who's, like, just a couple seats over at the bar.
Hertha moves down, like, all the way to the far end. She's
Hertha
like,
just, like, has
me.
this aura
Don't
around
me.
her.
I swear
He
to
looks like a
God.
Super Saiyan about to pop.
She's like, I'll play this game in 2 more drinks. And she scooches down. But you come on over, Nanna.
All right. Well, I hear you're the life of the party. Is that so, Fen?
Yes, it seems Tolchik's forgotten that we probably don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
Well, we are only in one small place, and there aren't that many strangers among this gathering. I don't believe I see a fair number of folk we know.
I see a fair number of folk that we don't know and who might not have known who we are, but all the same, we should make the most of it.
It is, how did Ave put it? It's sometimes the better part of valor to engage in merriment, where it might build bridges rather than burn them.
I suppose I've got no choice but to drink to that.
And I will drink to that. Nanna will grab herself a drink and sort of kind of clock Jenny there on the table and So how's her training coming along then?
I'm trying to get her to recognize folk, but she hasn't seemed to pick up anyone yet. Just trying to familiarize her with those that matter, and in case it comes in handy. She should know who we are if she's going to travel with us.
Certainly. Do you know, there was that time during our adventure, she will wink at Fen and hope he gets the message. When Gorbjorn was able to parlay with a bird, have you tried that? Do you have that spell or skill?
That's not a skill I have. I've mostly been bribing her with bugs.
Which has seemed to do quite well. She seems very enchanted with you.
Maybe when we're less busy, I can ask Gorbjorn for some pointers. But for now, think I'll continue to try to fatten her up for the winter.
Just as well. How are you doing?
I'm ready to be out of this town, honestly, if I can be entirely truthful with you. Don't mean to put any pressure on you. I know this is not what you want to be doing either, but Saga has a list of things we're supposed to accomplish, and I think we should be moving towards those, and the further we get from the mess we've mired ourselves in, the better I think we are. I'm just a bit nervous for what happens when we do leave the safety of Galunda.
As am I.
I'd rather be more prepared than less prepared, and maybe that's something we should talk about later.
Yes.
I'm not sure, even if we go through with the suggestions that Egil has made to us, how much we can trust the word of the people who we're trying to influence, if that makes any sense to you.
It does, yes. I mean, there's so little we can be sure about through all of this, but at least for tonight, we have drink, we have friends, and I haven't told anyone else this yet, but Hertha gave me her question.
Her question? What is she questioning you for?
Her question to the Seeress.
Oh. Well, I hope that I trust that you will use that in a way that brings you peace.
Well, I don't know what answers might bring me peace. I don't even know if those answers are truthful. I don't know if those answers exist.
I'm not sure if they do either, or where they come from. For all I know, the Seeress is a charlatan or a loon. For I've got no evidence of where her messages come from. Do they come from the gods? Because we've just spoken about how the gods don't. None of the gods we've reached out to respond to us. I hope they respond to her.
I can only hope so. I don't know what to make what I know of her so far, but I'll try.
By the way, that was spoken softly.
Yeah.
Fen has picked up on a couple of things, and he's not openly
yelling about all this in the middle of a bar.
I wasn't assuming it loud, but now it gets my attention. I should at least roll. But as you have this conversation, Roshan, you have been sort of like led a bit around the room because Eagle is still trying to host. So it's just
You're
like
kind of his +1.
An arm around the waist, making the laps. And then he sort of breaks the rotation and makes his way over to the bar towards your friends.
Nanna will raise a glass. Founder of the feast, sir.
He gives a nod. He currently does not have a drink in his hand. Much appreciated. Thank you. Saw you two whispering over here. Don't care. Enjoy.
You two certainly seem like you're enjoying yourselves.
No. I am. But sadly, that must, for a moment, come to an end. I myself am about to head over to a statue to talk to a seer.
She prefers Seeress. I don't know if she would hold any ill will, but at the very least, couldn't hurt to be careful.
I don't know if this is about careful, but thank you. And heard through the grapevine, would you like to walk with me?
I would be obliged for the company.
Perfect. Roshan, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that you would prefer to stay here.
Unfortunately, I think there's a good chance that Astra will be in the square, so I'll avoid it for now.
Makes sense. We'll be gone just for a moment. I don't plan to take too long. I can't speak for Miss Nanna, but I am ready whenever. Let me get a bigger coat. It's fucking cold.
It is very cold out, I will say that. Winter in Galanda is not kind.
No, you all right?
Yes. I've
Would
had
you-
one drink, I'll have one more for the road, and I'll be just dandy.
Would you like me to accompany you, or should I look after Toldrick?
Well, he certainly does seem to be having a good time. I will leave that up to you, Fen, honestly. If you feel comfortable staying here and keeping an eye on Tordrick, all the more reason to stay.
I'll stay here and try to make sure Toldrick doesn't get himself into any trouble.
Hey, Finn! Check this person out over here. Their name is James. James is really cool. He likes to drink. Come on over here, James. This is Finn.
James from overseas!
James is brought over.
And Torjik disappears, of course, looking for other people to talk to.
Oh my god.
Eagle steps out of the way to allow James into his space. Well, you guys have fun. If anybody's having more than 2 drinks, I'd love a Constitution saving throw. But Eagle goes back up to you. All right, Miss Nanna. And you are certainly in safe hands. Onwards.
I do not doubt that. Onwards. Roshan! Make sure everybody has plenty of good drink.
Roshan's fully talking to someone outside of the group and just gives like a thumbs up.
So your name's James? That's cool.
What kind of name is that?
Sounds
Where are you
foreign.
from?
Nice.
The 13 to the con.
And the two of you slip outside, and the cold hits very hard when you leave Island Life because the place is so warm. So Eagle's fully like wrapped up into himself, like large jacket, scarf, just as covered as he can physically be.
If you feel yourself catching chill, rub your torso, keep yourself warm, keep your trunk warm. Your limbs will take care of themselves.
Thank you for caring about my trunk, Miss Nanna. And he
I am only preserving it for Roshan's sake.
That's very kind of you.
You're very welcome.
22 on Constitution check.
Oh, what'd you get?
22.
Ooh,
That makes sense.
Tordrick, you can go the whole night. Did anybody else roll?
Yeah, I got a 13.
Okay, it's still good.
How many drinks Roshan having? Just the 2?
Yeah, he's got a 2-drink maximum tonight.
Responsible boy.
Somebody should be responsible, I suppose. But you two start to make your way. The sound of the party, it's kind of like it fades and then amplifies again as you enter an area where other people are having a good time. So it's just like, it's just kind of a roller coaster of party sounds as you two make your way towards the square. You know, Miss Nana, I think it is very interesting how well you have all risen to the occasion of me existing here. It's appreciated.
You have done us a number of trustworthy turns since our first meeting, and I see no reason not to pursue our partnership further. Provided, we both continue to be able to be trustworthy with one another.
Of course. I mean, I'm sure both of us have our secrets. What fun would life be if we didn't?
Naturally.
But nothing that's gonna hurt you. And nothing illegal for the town. My name's on a contract. I stick to it.
Your word is your bond, and that I can respect.
He nods.
I believe that Roshan's ties to you, whatever they are, however you call them, whatever you regard them to be, I trust his judgment.
That's appreciated. I seem to have won in different ways so that Miss Saga does not get upset about it again. I seem to have aggressively won her friendship.
She tends to aggressively give her friendship. It seems to be very difficult to break it, even in cases where perhaps it would be best not expended. But even still, she's quick, she's observant, she's wise beyond her years, however many they may be.
Whatever she is, it is oddly intimidating.
Yes, that's accurate.
You guys are moving at a brisk pace. Eagle is set a brisk pace.
That makes sense.
Moving as quickly as he can without like jogging. So it's just the half step before jogging.
Nanna knows that clip. It's like, this is cold and I don't want to be out here any longer than I have to be. Nanna has done this walk many times.
It's just like you're moving for the body heat, not for like
Yeah.
the time constraint.
Power walking!
But you two quickly moving along. Also, this is your chance if you have any questions. I am currently still slightly intoxicated, so loose lips, whatnot. But I will reiterate something that I spoke of earlier, and he lowers his voice. It may not feel good, but I truly believe that this blackmail option is all you have. I just want to reiterate that. If you guys can think of something else, good on you. But
I've racked my brains. I'm not the most gifted of arcane I'm not the most gifted of arcane masters. I'm not learned in the ways of magic and things of that sort. But I think that at the very least, if we can buy ourselves enough time to have a way of resolving things, we'll be all right.
I agree.
I do want to ask you, for Roshan's sake, not for mine, not for my pride, not for anything like that. You do not have to be specific, but is anything troubling him? Is he all right?
Roll persuasion.
No. That's a 6.
And It looks like he thinks for a moment and he glances over at you. Well, Miss Nanna, you asking that question actually makes me feel slightly better. Consider me as much in the dark as you, but I support where I can.
Do I clock that?
You're welcome to try and see if you think he is lying.
Well, that is a 16 on insight.
He is gonna contest that.
That's fair. He's probably gonna beat me.
You guys walking, and everyone's walking, and Gorbjorn is sitting by a statue.
Yeah.
Slowly freezing.
He's like, I'm not as cold as her, but boy, oh boy, it's a little cold out. I wish I had sleeves.
No, Gorbjorn would never wish he had sleeves.
Well, his brain is like, when it's working,
Ah.
sleeves, would my arms be as cold? These are the questions. I'll go ahead and roll. You said you got a 19?
No, a 16.
That's a little lower.
It is.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to see this number. One moment. Okay. You don't think he is being untrustworthy?
Okay. All right. All right. If he hasn't opened up to you, then I can only hope that it is only something that will pass soon. I only want for him to be happy. I truly do. I regard him as a brother, and if he is happy with you, if he has found peace, good. I wish you both much happiness, however long that may last, however long that will work for you, the both of you. Just please look after him.
He nods and looks around a bit. I would say, Miss Nanna, as a man who works with people, if you have an instinct and something in you says maybe I should talk to someone, it could be a good instinct.
Believe me, I've tried. I may work with my people, but I've not been one to work with people, generally. That was more my brother's strong suit. You've probably long since figured that out. You seem a very perceptive sort, but I did try. I have tried. Perhaps not enough. It doesn't matter, really. I will try to seek him out later. Certainly not at the party. It's a bit too boisterous for serious talk. But, I thank you for being candid with me.
Of course. Sadly, it's not, I'm a pretty good secret keeper. So even if something were presented to me, not my information to give. Unless you were paying me a large sum of money, and then we can talk about it, because I haven't put anything on paper. So,
given the sums you deal in, I can guarantee you I haven't got that at my disposal. So you can consider those secrets safe in your breast, my friend.
Of course, and you owe me money. So let's keep going.
There's that, yes.
It's fine. We're taking it out of your cut for the first few jobs that take place in the area. You two walk. Gorbjorn!
Oh, I'm back in the game.
You're back in the game! He's back in it, boys!
You have set up, and I'm going to tell you all the things you see.
Oh.
Once I find them, like somebody who has notes.
Sounds fake, but okay.
I don't know. Sometimes I have these notes, and I just want to, make sure sometimes the things happen,
Sometimes things happen.
Sometimes I follow the notes. Not always. Okay. here are the
Hey.
things you get to behold, Gorbjorn. You watch as the Jarl is one of the first people to show up, goes over and sort of like examines the area, looks over the Seeress, goes and talks to some Jarlsmen, asks them to move the buckets closer, just seems to be organizing the scene as she walks around a bit. She, from what you watched, does not take up a bucket and participate.
If she feels like she's gotten this kind of ordeal like organized or going, can I talk to her?
Sure, you're welcome to make your way over to the Jarl Torgrim's daughter.
As Gorbjorn approaches, is this potion still going?
This potion is still going.
He has like the most bored, medicated face that you have ever seen. And he's just like, thank you for this question that you've given me. I must ask, how well do you know this Freyroon, Chief?
She raises an eyebrow. First at the way you're conducting yourself, and then the eyebrow just keeps going with the questioning. I've, in a sense, known Freyroon for a long time. I mostly dealt with Herserson. She wasn't the type to partake while he led in political issues.
So you would agree she seems like someone completely different.
This eyebrow going as far as it possibly can.
Just like off the forehead, up
Where's it
into
going?
the air.
One could say that.
Okay, cause I'm pretty sure she's possessed, and I don't know what to do about it.
I would love you to roll persuasion.
Did I get advantage for being so truthful?
I was much more tempted to give you disadvantage because it sounds insane. So I'm going to give you the flat roll.
7.
Gorbjorn, where are those 20s?
Oh, here, if I had advantage. That was a 2. So that would have been worse.
You gotta nudge it over that one other side.
She looks at you. And she takes in what you have said. I suppose the phrasing one could use is maybe possessed by a new energy, I suppose.
No, that ghost possessed me, and now it's in her.
Oh shit!
I know this ghost. This ghost is a bitch.
Well, Prince Gorbjorn, thank you for telling me. Maybe you should go drink some water. We actually have buckets of water if you want any water.
Oh, I'm good. I don't know. I just felt like talking. Sorry. Don't mind me.
He's a bit deep in his cups.
I'm deep in thought after my question.
I understand speaking to the Seeress can be a lot, and it also sometimes can make it less clear.
Okay, bye.
Okay. She watches you walk away.
I hope she just thinks he's drunk out of his mind.
I guess we may or may not find out about that at some point. And she goes back to whatever the fuck she was doing. Are you still sticking around?
Yeah, of course. I
yeah.
still don't know what any of this fucking Seer's answers meant to me at all. So
Yeah.
he's just like, oh fuck, this is so confusing. And then the y'all doesn't help me with this at all. This is getting worse and worse. I don't understand shit.
I feel everything seems so clear and yet it's more confusing. I don't understand.
I'm so calm about being so confused.
Normally, this would make me really angry, but I'm just feeling it. Yeah.
So,
Mysteries of the universe.
the first chief to show up is Van Deel Strormer. He seems to know what to do. He instantly goes over to a bucket, picks it up, and you watch as he like tips a little bit out of it onto the ground before he walks over. Casually, but not like just like meh, but easily pours the water over her head, and he just sort of leans in a bit. He does not like move down to her level. He just sort of like looms over her and just seems to be listening. You watch as she sort of moves and she speaks very softly. Are you trying to hear in on any of this?
Can I?
You can attempt to. I'm going to need a stealth roll and a perception roll.
Stealth.
He has been working on his stealth.
Mainly to see if you can get close enough to hear this.
So my stealth is a 23.
God damn it.
You use that.
Yeah, I could have used that earlier. And my perception, oh god damn it, is a 5.
Oh no!
So you could get close.
Yeah. The thing is, you have found a good spot where you're like, okay, I think I can hear from here, and nobody's mad at me for standing here. I just have to be real casual about it. And there's somebody who just starts coughing really loud over in the other group, one of the Jarlsmen just coughing loudly, and it just, combined with the wind, blocks out whatever the Seeress says to Van Deel.
I mean, he deserves his privacy.
That's
I like
true.
that.
That's fair. Okay.
You don't hear it, but you found a good spot. And nobody seems to have cared you're there currently.
So maybe if I'm sneaky enough, I could keep listening from this position.
Perhaps.
Or possibly sneak to another position if this.
No, the
leads
position's
to
fine.
us.
I just need to hear.
Right.
I guess we'll see. At this time, Egil and Nanna have started their approach over to you guys. And the next person to like walk forward is Gaza. It seems Gaza has come in Freyrune's stead. And
Okay.
she walks over, snatches up a bucket, walks over, and like douses the woman like she's a fire. Just goes over. This is Egil and Nanna's first time watching this. But this water hits her, and she leans down. She sort of crouches and leans in to listen. I'm gonna roll perception for her.
With disadvantage because she's so busy listening.
Right? You know what? I will give her disadvantage.
She would be listening very intently to whatever message Freyrun and Nana
You got like
had.
a 23?
Yes.
Okay. She leans in and you are able to hear her question, but you cannot make out the answer fully.
Oh, what's her question?
Her question is, did I make the right choice? You're welcome to roll insight if you would like to try and read her face to know about the answers.
Oh shit, I love this new dice. I'm gonna keep using. I got like so much dice and I'm like switching like which one's good. So that's an 18.
Wow. Yeah, she's not an easy one to read, but you think that she is content with the answer.
That's cool.
Good for you.
I'm glad
Good
for her.
you.
Honestly,
Raises a bucket and slowly sips. I'm proud of you. And she straightens up and she makes her way off as quickly as she came. Fully done with the whole rigmarole. Vandeel's stuck around. He's still there.
Well, I don't care about the other people. Can I just chit chat with Vandeel, just being like, so what would you do in your days, and like who'd you fight and blah blah blahs? Like,
The second you ask him about war.
Oh yeah, I wanna get him into that conversation.
Oh, it's easy enough to get him into that conversation. He is happy to talk about it, and he begins to tell stories of basically the berserkers and what they did, and working with Herserson, and when Gaza walks by, he's like, I saw her when she was like what, 10, and I watched her kill a man, and
I killed a man when I was 7.
You're too chill to be jealous.
he's like, I'm proud of you. Like, he squeezes your shoulder.
Thanks, new dad.
He has so many already. Like,
Who
is he gonna
needs the
notice
other
another
one?
one? Probably not.
Well, he has lost at least 1, 2.
Where's
Anyway.
he gone? Where's one of his children gone?
I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to Gorbjorn and dads, not.
Oh no,
Oh.
I was
Oh.
talking about not that Gorbjorn has a lot of dads, that Vandeel has a lot of children.
I see.
I was just
Misunderstood
like,
the heat.
what happened
I was-
to Vandeel's kids,
Yeah,
Nanna?
apparently
Not a
Nanna's
damn
stealing
thing. I don't
kids
know
in the
shit.
background.
Oh my god! That is
Figure out
not
who
Nanna's
the evil character is in the party.
I don't know how you made me scared for my own NPCs that I knew what they were doing. Like,
because I misunderstood the sentence.
it's like, what did you do to those children? What's the ransom? Like,
No, no.
but so you two approach. You get to see Gaza soak this very cold-looking woman with water, listen to what she has to say, and then leave quickly. Eagle takes a glance at you. Miss Nanna, do you mind if I go first?
Please, I insist.
Thank you very much. And he makes his way over, and he stops in front of her and he looks at her. And then he does a small circle around her. Roll insight for me, people who are watching.
Oh.
Well, I guess I'm using the other die. That's a 16.
8.
Okay. My brain was like, why did I ask that? Now I remembered. I was just like, why did I ask for that? Nanna, you're just watching him do this. Like, okay. What strikes you, Gorbjorn, is you see that he did not pick up a bucket when he walked over. And he seems to be like moving in different ways. Like, it almost looks like to you like he's testing the boundaries of how close he's allowed to get to the Seeress. And then he stops again in front of her. And he kneels down on a knee and he takes her hand and he puts 2 fingers to her wrist and waits. Then he lets go of her wrist and he looks into her eyes for a moment. And then he reaches up and he like pulls down her lip a bit, looking at her gums.
Oh shit. Okay, I know what he did.
And he takes a gander around. And he stands up and he walks back over. I'm done.
Not going to ask you a question.
No. And he steps close to you so he can speak softly. This is no, me judging you sort of thing, but it seems a bit barbaric.
I'm not fond of the implications of the ritual, but something the Seeress said herself. Gods only listen if you suffer.
Yeah, then I don't have much interest in talking to them, I suppose.
That's fair.
Well, I'm done. Would you like me to wait for you? I'm not doing anything.
I wouldn't mind a companion to walk back with.
Of course.
Okay, fuck me, I guess.
Well, I mean, I don't know how long Gorbjorn's gonna be hanging out. He looks really into conversation with Vandeel over
Actually, I look pretty bored.
Yeah, and you're just like, wow, is Vandeel the worst? And just Vandeel's like, and then you took the glaive and pick him up. I will say, as you've been standing here talking to Vandeel, you can start to feel the prickles of emotion coming back. Very slowly. But it is beginning to fade at this time. As you listen to him describe acts of war.
So instead of that just simple like glazed look, it just kind of like slightly just turns into like a scowl of confusion. Like
as he describes the sound of like a rib cage snapping.
Gorbjorn's heard that.
yeah,
He's like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
No, it's more like a
Yeah, like a, you know, like both of you try to make the sound of a rib cage snapping. Nanna, you see the bunch of buckets.
All right. Nanna will take up one of them and approach the Seeress. Give a bow to her. And she will not dash the water on her. She will kind of pour it firmly so that it is quick and over. Not a slow trickle, but not a harsh dousing. What else must be done to stop the corruption?
And the bucket water spills over her. Her head lolls back. And she sits there unmoving. Eyes staring ahead. And she gasps and comes out of it. Could you be so kind and tell them that I need the chair?
Yes, of course. Pardon me. We need a chair, please, for the Seeress.
one of the Jarlsmen gets up, and you watch as he goes over and picks up those long pieces of wood you all had seen when the Jarl and the Seeress arrived in town. And you watch as another Jarlsman comes over, and it seems to just be like joiner parts to put this very tall chair together. And it kind of hits you, Nanna. Maybe she's really drugged up, but also just being higher in general.
Ah.
It is a tall chair.
Well,
It
she
is
high.
it is a solid 6 foot of chair.
Wow.
And it is made, and you watch as she gets up to her feet, and her knees buckle a bit, and she like grabs onto one of the Jarlsmen.
Nanna will lean in and help get the other arm.
Yeah. And then you can see that there's sort of like this could be kind of a ladder on the side of the chair. And she, shaky legs, climbs up to the top of the 6 foot tall chair. And you watch as 2 more Jarlsmen come over. And they all go down, and they all lift the chair in unison, adding another good handful of feet to her height. She now, rivals the statue of Golveg, going taller than the statue itself, just in the air. And the Jarlsmen just seem to stare ahead, and it looks like they're just trying to focus and mind their business.
That's fair.
Am
I meant to go up there with her, or am I supposed to stay down here?
You kind of like
I don't-
motion to one of the guys. There does not look like there is room for you up there.
Okay. It looks like a seat for one, but like,
Am I supposed to sit on her lap? Is this?
You need to go on my shoulders.
is this
so
Santa
that
Claus? Yeah.
You need
I
a
can
lift,
give you a
what's up?
piggyback.
But she sits up there, and you watch as she sort of like adjusts herself, trying to find a spot where she feels secure. And then she gets as comfortable as she can. And she looks up. And then you watch as her arms go slack at her sides. Then you watch as her chest begins to rise and fall as she breathes very quickly. It looks like she's like straining, like something is like almost as if she's just like run a marathon. You can see that her body trembles slightly as she murmurs softly to herself. As you watch as she like kind of jerks one shoulder and gasps. There's just a little slight wobble. These are strong men. So they kind of recuperate, kind of readjust, hold it sturdier. I would love you, Nanna. And Gorbjorn. Gorbjorn, if you roll high enough, why not? To roll insight or perception.
Okay. Perception would be better for me. Please, come on, buddy.
so I got a 12 actually.
You're like, I didn't have a cool chair in mind, but that's okay. This is fine. What do you have, Nanna?
14.
Okay. Nanna, I would love you to roll dexterity, just flat dexterity.
Okay. All right. Okay. With my dex mod, that's a 13.
Okay. You watch as it wavers, and like there's a point where you're like, oh, and you like put a hand out to like steady the chair yourself, because you see there's a point where it begins to like, she is moving quickly on this thing as she like her body seems to be, as she looks around rapidly, and you're like, do I need to help hold the chair? And you put a hand out, and then it doesn't matter how sturdy the chair is. You watch as her chest jerks forward and she topples off of this chair. And would you like to try and grab her?
Yes, please.
With your roll, you've already done it. You can't trick me. It happens very quickly. The only thing really being on your side is the fact that you were standing near her and watching. But it happens so quick as she lunges herself forward. You move in under her as best as you can. You're going to take damage.
That's fine. I
She
can
is
do that.
also going to take damage.
She has those extra HP from Gorbjorn. She's fine.
Nanna, you take 2 damage
Hey.
as like she falls and just hits hard, like it like pulls your shoulder a bit. But with her sweet temporary HP, she takes more damage with you as her body hits hard into the ground. The only saving grace is the fact that you are there and stop her head from slamming into the ground there. The floor is stone here.
Yeah.
And if it had been anything besides your body, could have been a much worse situation. And you could see like the Jarlsman quickly going to put the chairs down. And
Seeress, are you all right?
the Seeress looks directly at you, and you look into your brother's eyes. And that is where we're going to take our 10-minute break.
I knew it!
Thank you guys so much. We're going to take a 10-minute break. Go get yourselves a stiff drink. Join the party. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll see what has to be said.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to On the Backs of Gods, episode 54. We left off at a bit of a moment. A few people had come to get answers from the Seeress. Gorbjorn got some, and even with his new wrinkly brain, it still is, not straight.
So smooth. It's so
It is
smooth.
It slowly becomes smoother and smoother as time passes. Eagle seemed to not ask a question and just seemed to examine the Seeress and seemed to be done with it after that. And then you walk up, Nanna. You ask her about what's next to get rid of the corruption. And she thinks about it for a moment. The spirits all coming together and thinking, I suppose. And she decides that she needs to be higher. Literally. So she is put upon a 6-foot tall chair, which is put upon 4 tall jarlsmen. And after sort of seizing in the seat, falls off. Nanna is able to at least catch her head so that it does not just splatter on the ground.
No dashing against the stones for you, Seeress.
And as you look into her eyes, you see they are not her eyes anymore, and they are your brother's eyes that look back at you. And it takes you a moment to see that they aren't like looking into your eyes. It is past you, just staring ahead.
Are they?
And you watch as she grits her teeth and she shakes her head. And she turns it and looks to the statue of Gulveg. And you watch your brother's eyes as he stares ahead. I'm not strong enough. And he looks up to the statue. I can't. You burden me. Oh. What I must do. What I must do for them. A martyr. That's all you've given me. Why am I even talking to you? And she gasps out of it, and she begins to scream. And you watch as her whole body seizes up, arms locking into her side, as she seizes on the ground in your arms.
I try to steady her head, try and make sure that she doesn't shake or jerk her head against the rock or anything.
You can see that the Jarlsmen have moved back and are trying to put the chair out of the way. And you watch as just her eyes roll back into her head. And then she turns and vomits onto the floor. It's mostly stomach acid. There's nothing to really speak of inside of her currently. And she just sort of curls up in on herself, her fingers sort of curling at the ends as she kind of grips at nothing and then tries to catch her breath. Just seems to be in a large amount of pain. And you feel a hand on your shoulder. And it is the Jarl standing behind you.
I'm sorry. I'd no idea.
I'm not sure if this will make you feel any better or not. I do not know what you asked, and I will not ask you for it. there is usually a more intense connection if someone channeled is deceased.
I did not know that that is what would happen. Is she all right? Will she be okay? Is there anything we can do?
The Jarl does not look incredibly bothered. Like, she doesn't look like, wow, this is super casual and normal, but she is nowhere near as stressed about it as you are.
This isn't shocking to her. This has
No.
happened before.
Yeah, you can tell that by looking at her.
Okay.
One of the Jarlsmen comes over. He's going to do himself a medicine check. It seems he's a big idiot.
Can I help him with that?
Sure, you can help.
I mean, I was up close. I could maybe like mention the symptoms and like.
Yeah, she almost bonked her head on the ground. He comes over, and he examines her, and he's like, talking to the Jarl. Wrist is broken. I think 3 of the fingers. Probably a rib, he says as he like runs a hand over her side. We'll grab something. And what that Jarlsman gets up and like jogs over to go get something.
Nanna would like to, if the Seeress will take it, Nanna would like to offer her a good berry. She can't tell necessarily if the Seeress is in a state to consume anything unless she like takes a good look, but.
Yeah, I mean, the Jarl will hold on to it. You can see that her teeth are clenched.
Okay.
That her body is so stiff and tense and just curled in on itself. Well, I can't assume that you heard something grand, and I'm sorry for it. Sometimes these moments aren't very helpful.
It has brought up many questions, but I think it has inadvertently answered a few.
Also, just from me to you, you may want to check on your friend, Prince Gorbjorn. It seems he's probably under the influence of something, I don't know what, but he seems a bit fantastical in his speakings tonight.
He does occasionally dip into things beyond the cups, you understand? Not always, but on occasion he is known to dabble. I
have no judgment. I was young once. And she gives like a little smile. Well, she looks around. We'll wait a bit longer to see if Alec is attending. But it might be a good place to end, I think. I'm excited to get her back inside.
That would be best. She's been out here for some time now, at least a day.
It's her process. It's how it must be. You watch as one of the Jarlsmen returns. It looks like he has like a small like potion vial, and it's unsettling to watch him like have to pry her mouth open to try and get this potion into her mouth.
She said that the gods don't listen unless you suffer.
That's what she says.
Must it be so?
You may not see it this way, but there is more clarity.
In pain?
She used to have visions more like riddles. Things that did not make as much sense. And then when she started doing this approach, They seemed more pinpointed and very specific.
I see. Thank you for everything, my Jarl. It's been an honor to partake here in Hertha's place, and she sends her regards.
It's appreciated. I did not think she would take up the offer. The Jarl takes a step closer to you. I know you've just went through something a bit traumatic. I'd love to speak to you for just a moment.
Of course.
You and Roshan, you were both with Ave.
Yes.
She leans in close. I don't believe anything you have told me. It sounds... It's like someone describing a painting, you know, where it's just a good beginning, middle, and end, and it's just painted so well. And my only question, because all I care about was that goddamn piece of paper. Do I have something I need to worry about? What you all did, whatever you were doing, does it affect my treaty?
I can tell you truthfully, Jarl. I do not know that it may not affect things further down the line. But believe me when I say, there is nothing about our mission that we have undertaken that was not done for the love of the people of the West and for the Jarldom and all its people. And if there is any harm or any danger that may come to bear for our actions, we will defend against it. I will lay down my life for that.
You can, she is so close to you, you can feel her breath on your face. I'll tell you truthfully, I despise that answer.
I understand.
If something is to happen, once again, I know not what you did, and I'd prefer you keep it to yourself. You will not pay by fighting it. You will pay with your life. Is that understood?
Yes, my Jarl. And please, let it be my life. Please, do not take umbrage against any other person, any other member of my party, any other person in Galunda, any other being within your realm. When Ave died, he left the mission to me. I am responsible. Let it be my life.
That's not how things work. You best hope that you have not brought something back with you. She turns and she starts walking. Miss Nanna, it's fucking cold. You just hear from the distance.
Certainly is. Gorbjorn!
As I'm like in the middle of a conversation.
Your brain is fully, it is like moments away from being fully back to good old Gorbjorn.
Are you deep in conversation? Will you be here a while?
No, where are we going?
Well, I was going to head back with Eagle and have a drink or two. Did you want to join us?
I can. Yeah.
Van Deal, would you care to join us as well?
Van Deal looks over, and he looks to Eagle. And he walks over. Another time. The family's currently over at the inn. And he puts out a hand to Eagle, who Eagle quickly takes it. Love to have you over at the establishment when you can. Puts up one of his best smiles.
Family comes first, of course.
It does. And he sort of gives like a nod to all of you and then makes his way in the other direction to go to the Hearts of Hill Inn. But you all are going to start heading back to the party over at Island Life, correct?
Mm-hmm. Nana's not in a mood to party, but boy is she in a mood to drink.
You gotta do what you gotta do. And all of you make your way over. Anything before you get there, or it's like we need to get to this establishment quickly and start drinking?
Drink.
Drink for sure.
Beautiful.
Honestly, Eagle, it's probably for the best you didn't ask anything. I don't think you would have liked what you have gotten.
I told you straight up I wouldn't. Not my cup of tea.
That's
Even
fair.
though it's tempting, I'll say that much. Tempted. You all make your way back to the party, and it has become a bit of a bash. Anybody who kept drinking, Constitution saving throws, please.
You just no offense doing that. I would bet Tordrick probably is.
James is gonna get shitty.
Hell yeah, James!
James is shitty, yeah.
Party down, James!
James is pretty shitty, guys.
I got another 13, thankfully.
Okay.
I'm hoping that's enough.
18.
Oh yeah. You guys are holding it together. A lot of mixers can be acquired in this situation, so it's not like it's watered down, but not all of the drinks are the hard stuff. So you guys are handling yourselves pretty okay.
So it's juiced up.
Yeah, it tastes like juice. But then eventually you will be very shit-faced. Yes.
Real quick, after Eagle steps into the door, and before Gorbjorn goes in, Nanna does kind of want to catch him for a brief second. Gorbjorn, I don't know what you might have asked of the Seeress. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but if it was anything like what I saw, I want to tell you I'm here for you, alright? And if there's anything that I can do to help, name it.
Nanna, it seems like you're the one that needs help.
Well, you're not wrong there. I think for right now I could do with a very stiff drink, or perhaps a long line of stiff drinks, and maybe some help in the morning.
Let's save this for tomorrow.
Alright. She'll kind of like clap a hand on his arm and kind of look up into his face.
I'll enter going like, woo!
Yeah, Nanna will kind of like pick up on his energy. Yeah! Who's ready to party?
The cavalry arrives, and About that time, a little bit after, Fen, you still have your faculties about you. That is when the three roadsmen come in, um, and you are able to get Valder that drink he is owed if you are still interested.
Fen would still be interested. He's gonna walk up to Valdir and hand him a drink and offer cheers.
I was gonna cheers, and I saw I had like two drinks in front of me, and I don't know how that happened. I was just like, I went to reach, and I'm like,
They multiplied.
yeah.
Huzzah!
He gives you a nod. You can see there's like the impulse to like, that just that masculine clasp on the back, but he does not. And
Kind of him.
And he sort of gives you just like that kind of like fully understand, seems pretty chill about it nod. Like,
Voldia, would you mind holding out your hand for a second? Just like this. I'm gonna put like a mealworm in his palm. Just bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna back up like 5 feet. Okay. Jenny. Voldia. Go to Voldia.
Balder.
Volder.
she like hip hops around. Go ahead and give me animal handling with advantage.
All right.
With the mealworm. With the mealworm. Pulling out the good food.
12.
Okay. It takes her a second, and like Valdir sort of is catching on to what's going on, and he like he tries to like kind of like shimmy it a little, like, oh look,
It's
a living
alive. Ooh.
and eventually she's like, oh, because there's a lot of people in here. It's a little overwhelming, but
Lots
eventually,
of
after
stimulus.
kind of getting used to it, she eventually will hop over, do a little fly over to Valdir, and snatch up this mealworm.
Right. I'm sorry. I know it's lots of people find it disgusting to have dead bugs in their hands, but I'm trying to teach her the names of important people, and it seems like you're going to be one of those if you're going to bind your future to Nanna's, and I want her to know who you are. Can I get you another drink?
Yes, you can. He smiles, and eventually, like, he'll stay with you for a moment longer with the next drink, but eventually will like kind of give you a good day sort of nod and go over to Nanna. Selby has already started picking up the pace. You guys came in with aggressive energy, and Selby's like, well, now I have to have aggressive energy.
Yeah!
And so he knocks back 2 drinks like rapid fire, so he can get on everybody's level as quickly as he can.
Hell yeah.
And then is just going to go into party mode as fast as he possibly
Woo!
can. Agnet walks in, is handed a drink by Selby, and she just sort of scans the room. And goes over to Gorbjorn.
Winners get kisses.
And she like looks over his face, and like the second Agnet is over to you, it's just full smooth brain again. It's all and potions gone, nothing left to speak of. How was the magic ship?
Shit.
She nods understandingly.
It's what I expected.
I don't know if I learned anything. God,
I need more booze to figure it out.
She nods. Yeah, no, none of it makes any sense. I went one time. Did not help. She just sort of made like cricket noises. for like 20 minutes. I'm
Better
still
than screaming at you.
I'm still processing. That was 5 years ago. I'm still processing.
I would be too.
You want to dance?
Please.
Hell yeah.
You two make your way over to where people are just drinking and dancing and having a good time. And Selby sees you guys come over. Yes, yes. And just looks very excited. Agnet's dancing. Eagle has made his way over to Roshan. So she's
All
like
right.
half naked, fucking freezing to death out there.
Sounds
Barb-
miserable.
It sounds like a son of a bitch. I truly just more the curiosity, didn't have any questions.
Oh, so you want to try it? I can get a bucket of water if
No.
you want.
He like squishes your face. Gently shushes you. I will kill you if a cold bucket ever comes near me.
So I shouldn't just tell everyone around here that you want to try it.
He just puts his forehead to yours. I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up.
Kiss him.
No, he's bad. Nobody gets kisses when they're bad. It's gonna be a learned behavior. But yeah, he says he didn't ask the Seeress any questions. If anyone's interested in the people who just joined the party, like either Eagle, Gorbjorn, or Nanna, you're welcome to roll insight if that is something you'd like to do.
No.
Don't perceive me.
I got a 13.
I think the person who would be the most noticeable is probably Nanna. Nanna, you can either try to contest the 13, or you can say what Roshan would see on a 13.
Nanna is trying real hard to put on a party girl sort of persona, sort of vibing with Gorbjorn's energy. So she's attempting to mask. So I think she will contest.
All right.
What do I roll against?
Deception.
Very well. We will see if she's any good at that. Probably not, statistically speaking. No, she's pretty shit at it, actually. Deception. Yep, that's an 8.
What does Roshan see then?
Roshan's known Nanna longer than almost anybody, Fen included. She's masking. She is going hard into the drinks. She's encouraging people to drink more. She's cheering on Gorbjorn and Agnet dancing. But it's it is all turned outward at everybody else. And she is very obviously trying to do anything but focus in.
Okay. I think it was only Roshan who rolled. So that's all for you, baby.
Then at some point during the night, Roshan will ask Valder to keep an eye on her, make sure she drinks water, and maybe ask if she wants to talk later.
He gives a nod. The thing is, he's been hanging out with Nanna, so he has to keep up with the energy a bit. So he's starting to get a little drunk. But he listens and he nods and he's and is able to pours water into your partially finished drinks, and you're this one tastes really bad. But
I'll still drink it.
Yeah. Just
not gonna throw it out.
That'd be rude. I was giving him this drink.
I was giving this drink. I gotta drink it. It's gross, but okay.
As people just continue to have a good time and just it just gets louder and louder. Eventually,
Nanna will be dancing with at some point.
Oh, he's up for dancing. He's one of those like close dancers. And just sort of like is mostly just holding on to you and just like swaying slightly. Eventually Hertha gets up and is like, well, I'm fucking done. And she's going to make her way out. Roshan, you watch as Eagle acknowledges her leaving, like, have a good night, and veers through the crowd and like taps a guy on the back, who like perks up, and he kind of like gives a nod, and he goes and follows in the direction that Hertha went.
Make sure she gets home safe, I would guess.
Sure.
Yeah, Eagle's gonna assassinate my sister-in-law.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to think after everything that's happened so far.
And he looks to you, Roshan. For the rest of this time, he has not had a drink in his hand. So I'm going to ask a question again. In regards to this party, upstairs or downstairs?
I can party in either place.
Well, I'm going to go party downstairs. And I think that would be much more fun if you were present.
I will say my goodbyes and join you.
And there's just like a little smirk, and he's gonna go, and you go do the rounds to say, okay, nice party, everybody, cool. I had fun.
Can't disappear awkwardly. Got
James, my man, get another drink.
James is having the time of his life, guys. James is living in it. He's like, wow, a lot of people are talking to me. It's really a good day.
I'm new in town.
This is the best day of James's life. He's loving it. You eventually go downstairs, and I would just like to figure out, if nobody has anything else they're like particularly doing, I'd just like to casually know where you're ending up.
Tordrick will make his rounds back over to the bar area and see if Finn is there. And as soon as Finn notices him, he's going to start to pretend to yell at someone like, "Hey, this is," then stop and go, "No, just kidding. Check this out. I got these people. They're doing some dwarven hill tossing with me. Come on, they're as bad as I am." And he like points over, and there's like a group of people, and like they're trying to take like their ale mug and like take it on the edge of one foot and kick it over to the other without falling, and there's like people spilling beer under their feet so that it's slippery, and like everybody's falling on their ass and laughing their heads off, and he's all, "Come on, Ash is all wet, you gotta try this. Come on, it's so much fun."
Do it.
Yeah, Fenn would definitely be down for a contest like that. And
Yes.
James, come on, James.
James is happy to join in. Anybody who's attempting this game, roll me acrobatics, please. I'm going to give James a +1.
Volda! If I go, you have to.
I'm going to look stupid, but okay.
So am I! Come on!
Aw.
What are we rolling?
James eats shit instantly.
Oh, so does Nanna!
He's
Rolled a
down-
2. It doesn't matter what my modifier is.
Everybody's gonna fall on their asses.
Valder also eats shit.
Yeah!
This dice is fully given up on the good things it was doing.
You got a 14.
Wowee!
You're able to do a pass and then another pass, and then like you stumble, but you're able to grab something, so you don't eat shit. But it's
Nanna's
all
like
hard.
cheering from the floor.
James is like, "You're the best day of my life."
Tordrick has a -1 to his dex modifier for acrobatics, and he rolled a natural 20.
Oh Hell yeah!
Oh, hell yeah!
Can you
Home
describe
field
it to me?
advantage.
This is the first time he's ever made it happen, and like he is just like, yeah, he's just like just doing the dwarven dance, and oh, it's time for a little bit of a conga line going on here. Now he's got to celebrate even more. So he starts singing praises to the Nine Sisters for giving him the dexterity for just a second, just that slight advantage over everybody else, and it's time to sing and dance and move on even more. Oh my goodness.
To the Nine Sisters, everybody!
There's a cheer. James cheers. He doesn't know he's cheering, but he's cheering.
Nobody knows what we're cheering for. We're all shit-faced.
Tordrick gets a second wind.
I'm very impressed. That was.
That was
excellent.
just beautiful. Fen, honestly, I'm impressed with you too.
I thought I was gonna fall on my ass, honestly.
You almost did, but you didn't.
No, it's not over yet, Nanna.
That's fair. Go for another round then.
I think we should both do that.
Definitely. Boulder, you in?
He's still on the floor. Boulder is
I mean, Nanna is too, but like, fuck yeah!
Boulder, James, come on. More
James!
drinks.
James struggles to his feet with the 3 that he got on his roll. He looks like he's struggling a bit. He's going to try again. One more round for whoever feels like participating.
This is dexterity.
Acrobatics,
James!
He prays for everyone. Grass falling too hard.
Now,
What'd you guys get?
you said it
23.
was acrobatics.
Yes, acrobatics.
Dirty 20.
23.
Yeah, you guys are picking it up quick. And then you see who just like, he watched Tordrick intently. With a nat 20, James coming in hot is able to do a couple passes, and he does not fall. And that's the best the man could ever do.
Amazing.
With his fun peasant stats. That's
James,
the
where are you
Best
from?
party.
He's having the time of his life. People are cheering his name. The story of James will live on forever and ever. I would love to know where people end up, and if that's like that table over there, that's where I end up. That's where you end up.
Fen will probably go back with Nanna to her house if that's where she's going.
Nanna probably is not going back to her house on this occasion, only because I think she's like shit-faced enough that she's probably just gonna collapse on Valder.
Okay.
But you're welcome to go to her house. It is open to you. She's like giving you a key and everything.
Well, Fen will go there if he doesn't have to break the rules of not being alone.
Saga will be going with you.
We have not
Dream
seen
team.
Abby yet.
Right.
Dream team, Saga and Fen. Saga
Okay.
and Fen.
All right, yeah, no problem.
That's
I'll
where
go back
she's-
And you know she's been the designated driver this whole
I-
time.
I'm interested to know where James is from. I wanted to establish that sometime in this evening. Where is he from?
Where are you from?
Where are you from, James? Where you can handle your dwarven ale so well.
Wings the light bulb. James talks about being from a small town from like a bit northeast of the capital. Like there's a bunch of people from the smaller towns in that area. When you hear the Jarl's going somewhere, a lot of people like to show up. And James is part of that group.
Okay.
So he's like, oh yeah, just a bunch of people. We all got together. We bought a cart. We all just came up here.
All right. Yes, that's wonderful. I'm glad to have met you, and this was a wonderful evening. Have you met someone named Dolph from Arentoft? Someone with a similar background. Seemingly came from nowhere to become a hero, and I think that you two have a lot in common. You should seek out Dolph from Arentoft.
And he gives you like a thumbs up as he tries to remain upright. Sounds good.
If he remembers in the morning.
I'm here for making friends and having a good time. It's the best day of my life. But
I'm so glad that we could make James so happy.
you guys have made James's night. So we know where Roshan ends up. We know where Saga and Fen end up. We know where Nanna ends up. Gorbjorn and Tordrecht, where do we end up at the end of the night?
Hearts fill in.
The room. In the room where it happens. The room where it happens.
Tordrecht's like, well, if they're going to the room, I don't know if I can go to the room. Where do I go?
Tordrick, he'll just hang out. If it gets empty, then probably just crash. They're in the in the party area, I suppose. He doesn't like to impose on people and stuff, so he's just hang out.
Okay. Easy enough.
Do some praying.
A lot of people seem to do that, where they're like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Don't know if I physically can. So there are people that stick around and eventually just sleep there. It's a pretty comfortable place, especially compared to the Hartsville Inn. The Hartsville Inn has beds, but this place has like nice cushions and spots, and it's like, oh, you could just pick a cushion and I could sleep here. It's a big cushion. So you were able to do that and end the night there, not imposing on anybody's space. And the night, she do pass. I would love for everybody who had more than 3 drinks to roll me Constitution saving throws, please, for the morning.
I got a 7.
17.
21.
I beat you at something for once, Fen.
Gorbjorn, did you not party too hard?
No, he was mostly confused with his answer, and Agnet probably took him away from the party pretty early.
Yeah. Sorry, we got to turn in. Night nerds.
We got a lot to process, you know.
Yeah, no, gotta think about some stuff. Fen, this doesn't happen to you too much. You're hungover. You feel like shit. You wake up feeling terrible. Woken up by the sound of Saga like clanking things together as she makes breakfast in Nana's place in the morning.
So as Saga's making all of that noise, Fen is gonna roll over and he's gonna cast rope trick like 5 feet above his bed, and he's just gonna crawl himself up into a little bubble and sleep for an hour or more.
You just disappear into the void. Like, just another minute, please.
This is what rope trick should be used for, y'all. It's what I'd use it for.
Avoiding social encounters.
Yeah.
Avoiding responsibilities.
Sorry, I can't go to that party. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
But all of you wake up the next morning. Are we gathering?
If you can find me.
I'm sure if there's any
It only lasts an hour. Eventually I'm gonna fall down.
eventually falls back onto the bed. Just
That's why he cast it over the bed.
Yeah. So if you guys would like to meet up somewhere, you are welcome to.
Where would be best? I'm guessing that island life is gonna be like... Is it cleared out this early, or is it still full of, like, drunk and passed out revelers?
There are still people there currently, but I will say that's upstairs.
Nana's house might be best, honestly.
Yeah, no, that is true. It's, like, kind of self-contained and not out in public where anybody else can hear or walk in.
Yeah, it's the concept of responsibilities. He does return.
Don't like
with
it.
a question hanging in the air of when and where do we do this? But all of you are welcome to go meet at Nanna's place.
Nanna will probably, like, at least go and find one of the people in the party who can do message, just so that she doesn't have to, like... I'm imagining she comes in after, like, having spent the night passed out with Valder, comes into her house, she comes in, like, kind of looks around, she sees Saga making breakfast, ask her where Fenn's at. Oh, he's still in bed, he's asleep. And so Nanna goes over, tries looking for Fenn. There's a rope kind of just dangling out of thin air. She's like,
There's a rope. I am content being like, just like, are you guys all going to Nana's place?
Yes.
You are all at Nana's place. You've done it.
get over here.
Roshan, you were not part of the conversation last time, but I'm going to say Eagle brought it up. The concept of I taught them what blackmail was, and it's on the table, was basically what he tells you. So you're at least in the loop.
So Roshan will ask, so blackmail, huh?
Blackmail. Yeah. I'm not thrilled with it. But if nothing else, it'd buy us time. At this moment, I mean, unless you know something that I don't know, Tordrick doesn't know, Saga doesn't know, any of us, about expelling ghosts from people who've had them tattooed into themselves. We need time. We need to find a way to sort this out permanently.
I think it is a stopgap, and it sounds like our only option at this point. But it's a means to an end, and we need to find the end. But we don't have that now, so I think the sooner we get that done, the better.
And who knows, we may come across something useful in our travels once we secure some kind of truce with the ghosts.
We've got nothing in our favor to bring to light the fact that there are ghosts. I'm not sure what we can do safely, but why is everybody so loud?
Nanna will gently push another plate of eggs over towards Fenn and a big thing of coffee.
No, not yet. Can I have a good berry as well?
There you go. Have two.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to watch my weight, honestly.
You are given disgusting salty berries.
They're full of magic.
I don't trust, even if we succeed in blackmailing these two, if they'll keep their side of the deal. If they think they can eliminate us, I think they will.
They can try.
What if we arrange to set the field of confrontation someplace where it advantaged us? What if we spoke very loudly and very publicly about where we intended to go, and then we brought with us people that were allied with us, people that were trustworthy amongst those others that would want in our favor, Valder, representatives of Egil, and tried to capture one of theirs.
Tried to capture one.
If they tried to take us on the road, tried to capture one of those that broke their part of the peace treaty.
That's assuming that the people we caught were people from Faerun.
And if they weren't, then we get the truth out of them and find out who else is hunting us.
Aside from the happy married couple?
Eagle has assured us that they will be dealt with, and I can do nothing but take Eagle for his word. And I'm glad Saga is here to offer her insight into
Yes!
this difficult situation.
The most intelligent of us all has arrived.
Hi. I haven't been listening. What were
Hello,
you
Saga.
Currently, they are talking about the night has passed, the party is over, and we're currently talking about the blackmail plan.
Oh, I like that one.
Some of us are quite hungover.
Oh,
One
well,
of
that's
us.
too bad.
All right, I'll be just as judgmental in your direction the next time, Nanna.
Please do.
But if we are targeted on the road, and we know where we're likely to be targeted, we can be in defense of ourselves, try to capture one of them, bring them back before the Jarl, and make them speak the truth.
Well, the
That-
problem is that they have legal grounds to do this. We have a bounty on our heads because they have some proof that we broke the law.
We have a
Mhm.
bounty on our heads because a chief put a bounty on our head.
Well, it is still warranted. If they do have evidence, we could still get in trouble.
Ben, you know that I have the means by which to magically impel someone to tell the truth or to not tell lies. There is no guarantee that the Jarl does not have some similar means of extracting the full truth from us. And I will say, honestly, to all of you right now, she does not believe our story.
And
She does not know the truth of it, but she knows we have told falsehoods. And if she chooses to pursue that, if we are brought to court or in some way scrutinized for our story, for the reason why we are being pursued, that could be dragged out of us whether we will it or not.
My rebuttal to that is, did we not follow the orders of our chief?
We did, but he
We
did
not-
not follow the laws of the Jarl.
Could we have done differently? What would our fate have been if we had disobeyed our chief?
Well, I think that what they would have wanted us to do probably is to go talk to the Jarl and say, this guy's doing bad things, and, tell them that Ave wanted to do something wrong.
That would have been the word, the letter of the law. Yes.
So, really, we kind of messed up a little bit by following him, but I thought it would be pretty fun. I don't think they'd understand that, though.
I wanted to do right by my brother's mission.
Ooh, maybe if I talk to that lady that can talk to gods, I can tell her about what Lady Satyr told me and that I had to go, and then she'd be like, yes, of course. And it would be fine.
I wouldn't bother.
Oh.
She leaves you more questions than answers.
Oh, did you talk to her when I was gone?
Yes, last night, Saga.
Sadly,
course.
it
I
was
don't
by
know.
Did you drink?
it was by invitation of a Jarl to chiefs and to seconds of chiefs.
Yes.
Gorbjorn and myself were there. Eagle was there. Valdir,
Van Deal.
Smooth Brain, Van Deal was there. Gaza arrived briefly in place of Freyroon, I can only assume.
I had a lot of sugar last night. I don't really remember what
I
happened.
saw you fairly deep into some of those crunchy drinks.
Yes, I had quite a few. I had a lot of umbrellas.
Why are you
I
so
saw
loud,
it was an
Saga?
impressive collection. Fen, have another coffee.
Thank you.
Well,
So, did you have any other suggestions, Saga?
oh, goodness. I'm prepared.
I did the homework assignment.
That wasn't a request. It was just if
Oh.
you had anything.
Okay. Well, I think that the plan that Eagle gave about blackmail is a very good one, but I think we need to find something a very good way to do that does not make it so we end up incriminating ourselves too much, which is something very easy to do since we are criminals.
We are criminals, and
Can we just send a message going like, we're blackmailing you?
Yes.
No.
Oh, no.
This is something that we would need to have out with them in whatever they may deem to give us in terms of a private hearing. Some
Think we could
meeting
fool
where
them with illusions. Like there's somebody else trying to blackmail them to not kill us, and so then it has nothing to do with us. Like I can do illusions, and I'm sure other people can too.
it seems to me they are quite perceptive. I do not doubt the reality of your very impressive illusions, Saga. But it could go poorly for us if they were perceptive enough to see through. And these are not merely mortal folk. These are ancient spirits. And they have seen much, and they know much of magic that we do not.
Well, I think the main reason why I'm really thinking the blackmail plan is quite good is because we've used it before and it worked very well. I didn't want to say this in front of Eagle, but we kind of did it to Eagle and it worked really, really well. When we told him about that one person or thing or whatever it was.
Saga, didn't you ask Lady Seda for guidance
Yes,
on that?
that's what I was gonna say. Maybe I could talk to her, but she's kind of mad.
Oh.
But I don't know. Maybe she'd be up for it, since this is sort of messing it up from like going on the path.
Saga, I learned something of the Seeress's methods yesterday.
Oh.
And I do not know if Lady Seda might take to these methods as well. And I certainly would not ask you to put yourself in harm's way needlessly.
we are talking
Weigh this
too loudly.
I'm sorry, Fen. I'll be...
Well, why don't you just go sit over there, dude? You can hear from over there then. Oh wait, no, then other people would hear. Never mind. Stay
Well,
here.
we're in Nanna's house.
Never
we're
mind.
in- yeah,
Nobody's
yeah.
here.
Yeah, no, it's just us.
I have voices
It's
in my
just us.
head.
I understand. That's
Yes.
okay.
God's always with us, guys. So
One of them, anyway.
Seder.
at least 9 gods are with us currently.
At
Exactly.
least. Maybe even 10.
Ooh.
According to the Jarl and the Seeress, she sees more clearly, more specific visions when she suffers. She does this by dousing herself in frigid water in the cold, by elevating herself on high seats and tall chairs and the like. And
Is she not? She's scared of heights? Is that what's...
perhaps, I do
Oh.
not know, but
Okay.
I will say I do not doubt the veracity of their claims nor of her practice. I can count myself a believer that she does see what she says she sees.
Well, Lady Seder has said quite a few things about sacrifices. And I mean, it can't be that bad. I mean, I must have done it
it's
before.
So bad. It's so
So-
bad. If suffering brings clarity, then I should be able to see the future from now.
Can he?
No.
No,
Aw,
what?
sad.
I don't
I'm
think that
not
works
rewarding
because
y'all's hangovers.
you get the
Boo.
good stuff from the drinking and then the bad stuff, it's just the payoff, you know?
Mm.
You have to get only the bad stuff.
In order to get the good stuff. got
Yes.
to be done vice versa.
Yes, you have to do bad first, and then you get the good. Can't be the other way around.
I honestly don't condone this course of action. If
Oh,
I don't
Saga, if you
suggest
can't
it lightly.
get a solid answer, then we follow through with our actions. There's no need to torture one among our party to
well, the leader
get a
suggested
cryptic
it.
answer.
I only mentioned it as. I only mentioned it as a means to suggest options. I don't think we have to go that far necessarily, especially since you have had great clarity from Lady Seder already.
The only thing I'll say about that is, well, two things. When I was doing my prophecies beforehand, I mostly just focused on them all the time, and I would do nothing but walk and finish them up. And so I would mostly just eat like when I got to a town, or if I could find something in the woods, and it was a lot of walking, and I got to admit it was kind of exhausting. So I'm honestly feeling pretty great right now. I've had like I'm good. Um, so maybe and also back then I would get prophecies like all the time very fast. So I'm starting to wonder if because I am having such a good time with you guys, if that might be why I haven't been getting them as often. Or I guess I did get a very big one. It's bigger than the normal ones.
So, Saga, are you implying that fasting improves the accuracy of your prophecies or the frequency which you receive them? Should
Maybe.
we just go hungry? Should we wander into the wilderness and Nana and I not hunt for food and we all go hungry and then
Why
the
would you
truth
guys do
will
it though?
present itself to us?
Are you asking your gods?
I'm asking you.
No,
you
I
think
mean,
our
I think
gods
that I would need to be the one to do it.
But your gods ask your goddess, ask us for sacrifice. Does she want that from all of us?
I got the feeling it's more than that. Probably.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just trying to establish where we are, and
Either way, the fasting thing would take a long time, and I don't know if we want to wait for very long. We might
We
just need.
well,
need to have this
start as
done
soon as I have-
before Freyrun leaves town.
Yes. Which,
We have her on our turf here, and we won't get that again.
I'll start fasting as soon as I have 2 more rashers of bacon and 1 more cup of coffee. Thank you, Nana. And do you have any pickles? Are there any pickles in this house?
I'm certain I've got something in that vein. Yes, I'll go hunting in the larder.
Are you guys going to do any more planning in the blackmail department?
Yeah, I think we need to settle on terms for our blackmail.
Yeah.
I'll buy paper.
I do not
may
think.
not need this in writing.
I
It
think
might be better.
a lack of
And
paper.
how do we mail it?
I think it's a more verbal thing.
Yes.
Oh, so it's like a boy. So it's black boy, not black physical letter.
Oh.
Black voicemail.
Yes.
So we are using
Spoken with the
sending.
voice, you see.
You know, I think we're getting caught up on terminology.
I
here.
think you're right,
Um,
Saga. You have a very solid point.
Or
We
if
need-
we don't like people, we just like hit them with a sword. So
I kind of like what Gorbjorn's getting at here.
If only that were a tenable option.
No, I really wish it were, but
I think that part of it is the way you deliver it. So I think it's best if we get really confident and walk in and tell them.
I agree. And we just have to agree on what we will tell them. I believe we should allude to the fact that they are likely ghosts.
Mhm.
and say that that is information we have shared with trusted confidants who are not afraid to share that information should we have something untoward happen to us. And
It would be in their best interest not to pursue us any further, lest they want their secret spilled.
Well, I told the Jarl and she didn't care, so.
That's what you said
What?
to the Jarl? Gorbjorn?
Well, I thought we wanted to do that.
She
What did
said
she
you
say?
sounded like you were drunk out of your mind, like you were on drugs or something. What did you say?
What did she say?
Well, I said they were ghosts, and then she was just like, you mean like they're like, I don't know, like like she said like they had different energy or something, and I was like, no, that bitch a ghost.
Oh,
And she was just like, okay, bye.
it
I-
sounds like
She didn't care.
I can only
Didn't
hope she
care,
didn't
like, what the
believe you.
fuck?
I can only hope she thought you were absolutely stoned out of your gourd, because that might be the only thing saving us from the noose.
why?
Gorbjorn.
Why would we be killed for that though?
Yeah, well, like, why can't we just say they're ghosts and then kill them and then prove that they were
Where
ghosts?
else
Gorbjorn,
in
you're
the
right.
entirety of the
Gorbjorn, you're right.
Jarldom, in the whole of the West, would it be more likely for us to come across ghosts than the Valley?
A cemetery.
Uh,
Dealing with Faerun.
Saga, what's the,
Gorbjorn's not wrong.
Saga, what's the cemetery?
Is that not a? Oh shit! Yeah, it's not a thing.
Sorry, there was
Bum,
this
bum,
once I had
bum.
it was just a bunch of dead people in one space.
Yes,
It was
It was
weird.
just
It was a dream. It was very scary.
I believe it. That sounds terrible.
Gorbjorn, I don't
was
think
very
you've done
terrible.
anything wrong here. You've done nothing but speak the truth. But maybe we could deliver our message to Faerun and Nadia and tell them that yes, everything that we've said is true, that a handful of people know who they are. We're expecting our safe passage, and if our safe passage isn't guaranteed, then they'll have those they'll have the retribution of those people, or they'll have the retribution of us from 300 feet away, and it doesn't matter. We'll rain down misery upon them. But
I don't think we need to come in full bore with threats.
we don't need to, but that's always something we could do. Gorbjorn's
Well-
not wrong. We could just fight them.
I think
It's just-
we don't need to tell them that because they know
I,
and they're
Yes.
not worried about it. I
Exactly.
think we need to tell them exactly what they need to hear, and that is that we know and they are threatened to be outed. And
Mhm.
then we get out, and the less words we say to them, the better.
Yes, it's like, oh, hello. Did you enjoy the ritual that Tordred gave? That one was just a small one to get started. We have a larger one planned, but we're not sure if we want to do it or not yet. Would you like us to or not?
Or what if we go like, we'll break the treaty just to kill you, so don't try
Oh.
to kill us. I don't know.
I think they would
That's more
call
straightforward.
a bluff on that one, because I will tell you right now,
I don't know.
I'll break a tree.
started the last
I didn't
treaty,
sign it.
and I will not see the new one dashed before it is dry.
and
Oh,
if we
you're so mad.
you do
I'm a
something-
Naga
bit
drops her
tense.
eggs.
Tense, I'm sorry. I need a walk. I'll find your pickles, Fen.
No, Nonna, stay here with us. We're not done with this conversation yet. I appreciate it, but my headache can wait. I'm pretty sure Saga ate all your pickles anyways.
I
Um,
did.
Again?
Yes.
Oh,
If we-
Saga.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
If we slew them, driving the ghosts out, and brought them back, which we have the power to do,
Do we?
you weren't dead when the Banshee drove the ghost from you. You were merely incapacitated. We can bring someone back from incapacitated. Well, 2 people, several people.
Mm-hmm.
If we drive them out of their house, the ghosts, and then presumably those people who we saved would be on our side, would
Yes, but
speak on our behalf to preserve the peace.
do we have the means to...
The problem is the tattoo, because what if, like, we strike them down and then the tattoo keeps them in still, and then it just looks like we beat up some very important people.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yes.
We don't have the means to guarantee our success in a combative encounter.
We need a guarantee.
I think
I
that
don't think
sometimes the
blackmail's a
communication is the
guarantee.
key.
Not for now, Fen, no. But it allows us time to secure one.
What if we just run really far away, and then they can't get us?
Tordrick can't run that fast. Go
No, I
on,
get it,
come
I get it.
on.
I'll pick them up and put them on my shoulders.
Oh, never mind.
On the off chance that they have very, very fast assassins, we
Yes.
should probably have a backup plan.
I think that, Fen, it's patience and stuff, you know? It's hard, I understand, but, you know, you should understand you're an elf, you live for a long, long time. We just need to wait a little bit, and then we can solve the problem. And in the meantime, some bad stuff might happen, but that is the risk we have to take to solve it the clean way, the right way.
Saga, first of all, that's racist. Second
What
of
do you
all,
mean? I just said that you have a long time to live, that's a good thing.
second of all, when Lady Sadie calls upon you to fulfill your prophecy and tells you to leave Galunda, and it's not safe to do so,
I'm going to leave, because that's what she told me to do.
but we need to make sure it's safe for you to do so.
No, it does not matter. If she asks me to go, I will go. That's how it works.
And so we need to secure a stopgap, Fen. We don't know when this call will come.
I can't
Only
wait.
babies need
means-
safety.
Hmm?
Only babies need safety.
Yes, that's true.
He's 3
And
years
none
old.
of us are babies here. Fen, I understand. You want to solve this now. I know, I understand that, but I do not think we have the means to do so without...
Murder.
Well, without murdering the people we care about, the people who are not involved in this. The people who will suffer will be the innocent. Erling might be killed for this. I cannot. Fen, I cannot.
I can't see Erling killed for this either. That's... No, that's why you and I should talk about this later.
But for right now, Fen, so long as Freyrun and Nadia are here, let us secure some time. Some time. The blackmail will put a pause on our pursuit, at least from one arm.
We follow you, Nanna. I follow you. But don't think that showing our hand, that presuming that they will be as receptive to our blackmail as we think they are, is the best option. Once we tell them that we know, then they know. They can either flee or they can set up they can start preparing their defenses.
That is why we need Roshan and Saga to give us enough words to insinuate without telling.
I'd like to step in just really quick.
Please.
While I was inhabiting Tordrecht, and I'd love this to come to an end.
Yeah, I understand.
3 more sentences. I said as Tordrecht, she knows what we just attempted to do.
Yes.
That's not a
They know.
secret.
Yeah. She knows we
She
know.
knows you guys know something. That is at least somewhat out there.
We have tipped at least half our hand already.
Yes.
They can fill in the gaps. We might as well take advantage of it.
They're very old, smart ghosts.
So they know something happened. They are at least
Crazy.
Tordrick is aware that something. They know he did something.
All right, Nana. I trust you.
I think that we should prepare. What do you all
Or-
need?
I could
An
use
audience.
I could use a trip to the shops.
I'm gonna go talk to Lady Satyr.
I'm gonna pray.
Gorbjorn, will you indulge me in a talk?
I can.
This can happen later, Jillian.
I have 10 minutes.
I think that we should prepare for the most important performance of our lives. Take care of yourselves, and let's meet back here.
The people scatter. You've asked Gorbjorn to talk.
Gorbjorn, I won't ask you what you heard from the Seeress. That is your knowledge to keep if you wish it. But I saw Ave's eyes through hers. And he seemed to be in turmoil. He seemed to be asking of Gulveg why he had been chosen to martyr himself for her cause. I can only assume to stop the corruption. I had asked the Seeress what else would be needed to stop it. I don't know what that means, but I fear it may need another death. And I don't know how many more after.
Well, I will slay thousands before letting your life fall.
Don't fall upon your own axe for me, Gorbjorn. But thank you. Are you well?
I must say no. My head is riddled. I have no idea where I am to go. I can only assume the saga has some vision for us all. Her guidance, definitely a lot more valuable than any word the seer had said to us.
If nothing else, it feels as though Lady Sadyr's riddles have some means to an end. I caught a glimpse of my brother before he died. No more, no less. And at least I know his connection with Gulveg was not a still and peaceful journey. I don't know if that comforts me or not, but there it is.
It is a shame. He did not try to find comfort in you. You're a wise Nanna. He should have. He must have thought that you would be the answer to his questions.
Like you, I wish he could have told me so. But thank you. It does comfort me to hear that.
Just gonna give Nanna a hug.
Nana's gonna big bear hug around this big barrel-chested orc man. Little bit of tears. Because, God, it was a rough one last night.
Yeah, you two hold each other for a moment, being the only two of the group who got to experience whatever experience a Seeress was selling. Would not recommend. 2 out of 5 stars.
1 out of 5.
And downgrade, no tip.
No, you gotta tip your Seeress.
That's
Yeah,
true.
tipped her with a bucket of water.
But the party goes about their business to prepare for, as it was said, the performance of their lives. As a tent with 2 ghosts in it sits waiting on the horizon. And that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here with us today, getting to tell a nice story. And next session, the party will be telling their own story on how please don't kill us because we know you're ghosts. The hopeful, fingers crossed plan. We'll see if that's how the plan goes or if it works. Only one way to find out is by trying. Here at the Dice Cult, we have a many thing going on because, one show, not enough.
We have to have our thumbs in all the pies!
There's too many pies here, but pies are delicious. What are you going to do? What do you do? Your pie is great. Frank, would you like to tell us what happens on Tuesdays?
Tuesday, Legends of Theia Adventure Stream. We start about 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. We'll be most likely getting our toes dirty in a dungeon of some sort. I would imagine they're itching to go swing some blades. So I think that's where we're going to drop them. And I'll be like, get your drink on and have a good Tipsy Tuesday.
Yeah. I should throw you guys in a dungeon one day, just nice
Dungeon crawl!
Dungeon crawl!
Just a nice little dungeon crawl in the future, Who needs to talk when they gotta kill skeletons and stuff? Also, Abby, what happens on Wednesday?
Well, on Wednesday, I believe we have the final installment of the Monster of the Week miniseries that's been going on for a little while. Crazy stuff's happening. There's definitely ghosts on this boat, and a few other people that might not be very trustworthy.
Oh, interesting.
Or entirely human, maybe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
come at 7:30 Central and check it out, please.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And if you're in for something a little different, veer in a different direction every Saturday, we have our spooky, scary Saturday, Vampire the Masquerade in the last remaining light. Currently, our coterie is on their way to a mall that has possibly been refurbished to be like a vampire blood farm. And we're going to burn it to the ground.
Woo! Anarchy!
Maybe this show also has some betrayal in it, and maybe somebody kind of betrayed the party, and we'll deal with it later. I don't know. It's fine. Don't ask me any questions. No further questions. Thank you. If you're interested in Vampire the Masquerade, you can join us on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, we have just a bunch of images. We have a lot of character art, NPC art. We got a nice little map. Anything you could possibly want to see. If you're just like, golly, but what does Dagwood look like? Well, bio, we got an image. You can go look. We have a solid
we
image.
We got Dagwood, we got Ave.
A Dagwood. We have like 2 Aves.
2 whole Aves.
Rolling in it.
We got a Bragi?
Oh, we have 1 whole Bragi.
Okay.
Do we have a Golvig?
Bragi in there. We're living the dream.
We got a Golvig in there somewhere, I think.
Yeah, just me fiddling around. Gotta love that that art breeder stuff. Good stuff. If you want to see a lot of Abby's work, we have a lot of Abby's work on display.
Oh, yes.
Because she's nice and draws everybody all pretty. But thank you guys so much. Once again, we really appreciate you having here, being with us for a nice little story. Sometimes it's a lot, and sometimes it's just dumb, and just depends on the day and the moment.
I was gonna say it kind of split the uprights on that one today.
Vacillates. It can go from being real stupid to real intense very quickly. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do? We are here always same time, same place every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys next week. Good night.
Bye.